Hello, my friends. Happy Friday to you. This week we've been talking about the power of yet and having the courage to push through things when they get hard and giving ourselves time to grow. The power of yet. The word yet means that we haven't gotten there, but we're going to. And so that's a magical word. And the book I want to read to you today is called The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. So I'm guessing she didn't use the word yet very often, but we're going to learn about this little girl. It's written by Mark Pett and Gary Rubenstein and illustrated by Mark Pett. So he's the author and the illustrator. This is a very wide book. Look how wide it is. So I'm not sure I'm even going to be in the film. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. She matched her socks, and of course, she put her shoes on the proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster, Hubert, his favorite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. Sounds like she's a pretty perfect kid, doing all the right things. When she steps outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say good morning and thank you. They asked if she'd made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her math homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show? They asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. So that must be why she's famous. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never makes mistakes. Because for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with his green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on a cooking team with her 2 best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out from under her, and the eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. Oh my gosh, I make mistakes all the time. Do you make mistakes all the time? I'm a professional mistake maker. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Oh, Illy. She's got the egg in her mouth. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. I wish I only had to worry about almost mistakes. I have to worry about all the way mistakes. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. But she was afraid of making a mistake. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Asked her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. Look at her little brother. Because remember, she's got the talent show. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke up Hubert from his nap. Next, she got Salt Shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a water balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. By the way, let's talk about what would happen to Beatrice if she made a mistake. Right. Nothing. Mistakes are okay. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. That's her, said the girl who never makes mistakes, said a woman. Oh, we know she'll be perfect, said a man. When the music started, she tossed Hubert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker, and finally the water balloon. You see her juggling. Beatrice did not miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight, but Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks that were falling out of it were not white. What shaker did she choose? I don't know. Never read the book, but I'm going to make a prediction because that's what good readers do. Good readers make predictions as they read because that shows they're understanding what's happening. And I'm going to predict it's Pepper. Achoo! Hubert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kablooey! Hubert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper rained down on top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. Whoops. This book is so wide. Okay. Whoop. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never made mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked up at Hubert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle, then chuckle, then finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. Because it was funny, that's why. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. Because why not? That sounds like a good idea to me. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time, they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Lunch was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating at the park. They fell a lot and laughed. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. Isn't that a great story? I think that's so good. If we don't try, then we'll never be successful. The most successful people in the world have made more mistakes than anybody else. Think of your very favorite athlete or musician or anybody. The guy who created Fortnite or the girl who invented American Girl dolls. The reason why they're successful is because they failed thousands of times. You have to fail. It's not you're here and you can either be successful or do great or you don't. It actually goes like this. You start here and you move through all the failures until you get to the good part. You have to. Otherwise, you don't ever get to the good part. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a great day. And I will be on later. At the end, on the last slide, we're going to start our read aloud called Junie B. Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus. This will probably be the only Junie B. Jones book we do this year, but it is such a fun read aloud. We got to do it once. So you'll hear that on the last slide. We'll shut our day down with a little Junie B. Jones. All right. Enjoy your day. Mwah!